Salute, people, we back. Fred White, Tales from the Pen. If you're new to the channel, go down and hit the subscribe button. Click the bell notification and make sure the bell is shaded in this way. Anytime I put up a video, you will know about it. So we're going to start to do some reaction video series. And I want to go, see prisons all over the United States. And, we're going to go all over. And we're going to react to these prisons. I'm going to react to their videos. But I only found it fitting that we must start here in New York City if we're going to be talking about prisons and jails and the toughest jails in America, the toughest jails in the world. That's what this series is going to be about. We got to start. We got to start in New York City in Rikers Island. Now, this is a documentary that came out back in the days, but it gives you a clear picture of Rikers Island and what it was really like.
Troy Reed, I was looking at a Don Diva magazine, and I saw that Troy was doing documentaries on the hood and street life. And so I was working on a project myself called Parallel Worlds, comparing the prison industrial system with slavery of the past. And so I decided to call Troy up to see if he was interested in doing a project together with me. And I met Troy down on 125th Street, and I showed him the photos that I had received while I was in Rikers Island on adolescents just getting their faces just ripped wide open. And when I saw them, I was bugging because it was like, damn, like, yo, these was pictures of inmates like cut 5 minutes after they was cut. So that right there just had me like, when he started explaining some of the things that took place on Rikers Island, some of the things from a CO point of view, that made me like, yo, this is something I gotta do. I want to jump on this. I also explained to them that I also traveled to Ghana and how Ghana, the old slavery, and the prison industrial system is the same system today. When Lorenzo started telling me about being a correction officer in slavery and how he just was looking at it, as combined worlds. And that's something that really touched me, because I was like, damn, I've been to Africa. I've been to Ghana. I've seen the slave castles. I've seen the shackles. I've seen all that. And it meant a lot to me to make me say, yo, this is something that I definitely got to do, because it was all spiritual.
Troy Reed did a lot of hood documentaries. He's got a lot of documentaries out, and he's the one that did the whole Alpo thing when he brought Alpo back to Rich Porter's gravesite. Shout out to Street Stars. Yeah. Scarface for life. Scarface for life. This documentary is crazy. That's the corrections officer.
What you learn in jail, you can't learn in the street. That's learning patience. I just finished doing 10 years up north.
I just came home from doing 10 years.
I done did 10 years straight. I went in 2016, came home 26. I gave the system about 15 years on my life.
I gave these crackers, man, 17 years of my life, man.
The prison system gave me 15 of life, and I gave them back 10 years. I did 5 years out of that.
I served 10 years straight up. In them 10 years, I lost everything that I love. My pops, my moms.
Can you just imagine going to jail in 1989 and them telling you your release date is on February 2004?
Yeah, I can imagine that. You know what I'm saying? I can definitely imagine that. You know, this is like my era, a little bit above my era. Like, this is around when shit was crazy on Rikers Island, guys. And things are still crazy on Rikers Island.
It's crazy. I gave the prison system a decade, 10 years of my life, something that I will never get back.
The total I gave the crackers in the penitentiary out of my life was 15 and a half years, and I'm 41 now.
I gave the penal system 15 years. 15 years total. First of all, it started off when I was a juvenile. It started from Spofford to Rikers Island to the feds.
Spofford is a juvenile. Like when you're 13, 14, 15, and you get locked up, back then they were sending you to Spofford, which was in the Bronx, which was for youthful offenders. And then after you graduate from Spofford, you come to Rikers Island.
You see Chris, you go up to the next block, you see a blood, and then you go down to the next block, you see Latin Kings.
Lock and load. This is the point of no return. I can never go back. Life without parole, upstate, shackled and trapped, living in the hole, looking at the world through a crack. Fuck that. I'd rather shoot it out and get clapped.
It's more jails than schools. It's more blacks and Puerto Ricans, Latinos, period, in jails than anything.
I know on Rikers Island, that's a fact. I can't speak for all around the country, but statistics say he's definitely correct. But I'm saying that on Rikers Island, I mean, it's all blacks and Latinos, and the other is like 4%, which is, you know, some whites, the Asians, things like that. But it's like 96%, something like, I don't know the ratio, but it's very high of blacks and Latinos on Rikers Island, so he wasn't lying about that.
And the black and Indian women creating Latinos. Motherfuckers made me out of self-righteous hatred, and now you got yourself a virus.
I went to Rikers Island. I visited as a member of the Public Safety Committee 2 years ago.
We were literally animals in prison. We were locked up. We were caged down.
We have a group of inmates who have a propensity for violence, and they don't care about their fellow inmates. They don't care about a correctional officer.
And I saw how many members of the Nietas and the Latin Kings were on the island with beads and colors. And I pointed out then that we had a gang problem.
Today's arrests have effectively dismantled the command structure of the Latin King organization.
The Bloods also allegedly smuggled drugs to fellow members in jail.
The case provides a window into how gangs can come here to New York City. In this case, police say the Rolling 30s Crip set was set up in Belize by a former Los Angeles gang member.
When I first got to Rikers Island in 77, it was every man for himself. When you walked in, it's like everything, your whole attitude changed. You became still.
Before he continues, you see those bags right there? You see the bags they're carrying? Excuse me. That's everything that you possess right there and there. And those blankets. That's what they gave you back in the day. They just gave you blankets. And everything that you could put in, like, you know, if you had a lot of stuff, you may put a lot of stuff in your blanket in one, and you might put another bunch of stuff in the sheet and carry it like that. So that's what you're seeing right there, where they're walking through all of that right there. That's everything.
To life. They take all your property and give you a set of what you need. In other words, they give you 3 socks, 3 underwear, 3 t-shirts, and a change of clothes.
That's upstate. On Rikers Island, they don't give you shit. Well, they didn't give us shit. You come through what you come through with. You wear what you wear. When you go upstate, that's what he was talking about. That's what he was talking about upstate. When you go upstate, they strip you of everything. And they give you, you know, 3 pairs of socks, 3 underwear, 3 green, 3 pants, 3 shirts. Those are called state greens. They used to give you a jacket, and they give you some Chuck Taylors, along with a bald head, and they delight you.
Come in like you scared and somebody give him some direct eye contact.
The only thing that you could keep with you from Rikers Island was your Bible. And your Bible served many, many purposes. Your Bible also served as your address book, because you knew when you was going upstate prison, they were taking that. They were taking everything. So you took your Bible, which you knew they couldn't take, and you would write all your important phone numbers, all your important addresses, everything would go in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? Because they couldn't take that. But everything else they took. So, you know, you could still write your people, and, you know, who remembers phone numbers, right?
As soon as you walk in the door, he grilling you.
drop his head like that, then you know something wrong.
Understand? Your ears went numb, your body went numb, your heart started pumping because you never knew what to expect.
It all comes down to whether or not you're a Puerto Rican or you're a black man or you're a Crip, you're a blood. All that is irrelevant. Bottom line, you're gonna get tested.
When you're in this building, I want you to stay alive.
You heard that, right? You're gonna get tested. It don't matter who you are, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. You know, you're around lions. You are around tigers. You better show out.
Carefully to me. Nobody in here is your brother. I don't care if they're as black as you are, as light as daylight. They are not your brother. You mind your business, son, and you'll stay alive.
You had COs that were COs, but they wasn't COing. You know what I mean? And us as niggas, we respected their gangster.
Police don't really run the house. You know what I'm saying? We run the house.
Shout out to Pistol Pete. That was Pistol Pete. Terror Squad. Shout out to him. You guys know I did the podcast. He's got the Dog in the Yard podcast out on all platforms. You know what I mean? So go check that out. Go check the Dog in the Yard with Fred White. Shout out to Pistol Pete, Boxing Dice. Those my guys.
Before they had a thing called segregation. That's where they put all the wild guys in one house.
Ad-seg. That's what he's talking about. Ad-seg. Yeah, I was in ad-seg as well because I was labeled an escapist. Number one, my shit was all over the news. And number two is they found a tile underneath my bed and they thought I was trying to escape. Anyway, but ad-seg back in my days, if you cut somebody, you stab somebody, like you was wild, they send you to ad-seg, administrative segregation, like send your ass there. That shit was wild.
They sit right here. Don't come over here, the Brooklyn dudes over there, and the kids from the Bronx over here. You have to sit right here. If you sit over there, you're going to have problems. Don't worry about no phone time right now. We'll tell you when you get on the phone when we tell you to.
Normally they'll have two phones, so to be Hispanic, blacks.
It looked like an army base where you got
a bed, a locker, lined up that way.
Now you see these beds right here? This is what I'm talking about. They came in, and under one of those beds, those towels was missing. Like it wasn't missing, like it was loose. So literally you could pick it up, the towel right there, and you could you know, it was like a hole under it because it's like a modular. That shit stuck with me almost till I went upstate.
A bed, a locker, going straight down.
multiple beds lined up back to back to back to back, side to side to side to side to side. Everybody got a fucking bunk.
60 semi-individuals on one gallery with one CO.
Dealing with 60 different mentalities. And the niggas on the island, you got the wildest niggas from the 5 boroughs.
Back then, we didn't have the Bloods and the Crips back then from the island. They was out in California and all that.
That's a fact. We didn't have all that. You just was who you was. You know what I mean? It was borough stuff. I'm saying, I'm just speaking about me because let me tell you something. You know, shout out to all the dudes telling jail stories, but there's not too many on this internet that can tell you what was going on in the 80s. There's not too many. There's not too many of us. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? I know Fred looks, you know what I mean? Amazing, but yeah, I was there in the 80s. So he's not lying at all. It was more boroughs. You know what I mean? It was more if you Brooklyn dudes, Bronx dudes, Harlem dudes, like Queens dudes, like it was like that. And a lot of the wars, I ain't gonna lie, was Bronx and Brooklyn, man. Oh, Bronx and Brooklyn always been, it's just the way it is, man. It's just the way it is. You know what I mean? And back then, you know, the Muslims were strong. The 5% nation, all the guards, they were strong. You know who else was strong, who underrated and I don't hear? The Jamaicans. What?
Yeah, but it wasn't none
of that. Shout out to San Pablo.
I'm saying the Latin Kings, I'm saying the Nation of Islam, Muslims, you know what I'm saying?
When nigga come in the house, he got a shine on. Go get that. When I first went to Rikers Island, I was naive to the whole thing. So when I went to Rikers Island, I went with a Dapper Dan suit.
When you come in, they got bids on you.
I could be like over here on my house. I could be right here, and I'm already situated. Right from homeboy, he's in a bubble. He could be in a bubble talking to.
Hold on, you see that? I'll tell you guys about the bubble. That's the bubble right there. You can see both sides because, you know what I mean? It's two different sides. It's two different sides. You know, you come to a house, you might go to one main. It's like north side, south side, or east, west. I think it's north side, south side. And in between is the A and B gates. And that's where the police, they control everything. You see all the monitors. You see, look, You see all of this? This is all for the cells. All of this right here controls the cells on that side, on that right side. These right here control all the cells on the left side. And right straight ahead right here, this is C74, is the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Like in C74, that's how it's set up. This right here is the kitchen. And then over here on this side where my arrow is, there's a gate. And there's a gate over here. So these two sides don't really mingle. They do all the time, but that's how it's supposed to be. So it's separated and they control everything from here. You know what I mean? And in C74, there was a phone right here. And back in my days in C74, in the cells, there was only one phone. There wasn't two phones. There was one phone here and one phone for that side. That's it. There was no two phones. That's in the dorms and other places, HTM, when they got like 5, 6 phones. But in C74 in my day, there was one phone. Good luck.
The police are going in with a pair of construction boots, brand new, fresh. Same day I copped them. I go to sleep. When I wake up, dudes go in my locker and they take my shit.
I walk the rip. I'm like, I'm already telling my homies and they're like, yo, see what I'm saying? Those are mine. You know what I'm saying? Niggas already claiming them shits.
He wanted my lumberjack.
You heard him? Before dude even came in the house, they already claimed that his shit he got on. So if somebody else tried to rob him for his shit, nah, bro, nah, you're not getting that. We taking his shit. You see what he did? And they was on it like that.
Shirt and my British Walkers.
Dude don't even know what's popping. You know what I'm saying? But everybody already in the house already know you're like, yo, the piece. Because everybody get on the gate like, oh shit, jacket is hot. It's me.
And you believe the kid got the nerves to put my boots on and go to sleep with my boots on.
So a nigga tried to stick me up for my suit. He tried to talk me out of my suit. He said, if I don't give up my suit, I'm going to get hurt, in so many words. So me, I stole a nigga.
9 times out of 10, if you fold during that test, you will be nothing. Everything that you have of value will be belonging to someone else. You will never know a moment's peace. You will always be the wreck of that prison.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Because that shit follows you. That shit follows you. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. You let dudes play you, like that's how it goes, man. Like people can say whatever about me. I always fought. That's it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? You know, and did what I could. Then I, as time grew, I, grew into different things. But I'm saying like, shit, you better be. You better be. You want to be a tough guy? You want to be a gangster? Yo, hold on. I'm not done.
Junior, y'all wear now? If I wear a $50,000 watch, you know what I'm saying? A Jacob now, and God forbid I go to jail tomorrow, and I got this $20,000 ring on, I'm gonna wear that tomorrow. I'm gonna wear it in jail. You know what I'm saying? It's just like they're recognized. You know what I'm saying? You come through there, if you's a real nigga, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Like shit all gonna come to you.
This is where you gotta show whether you a warrior or you a slouch. You know what I mean? The island is just gladiator school, right? It's just gladiator school. Getting you ready for that for up north. You know what I mean? Fighting, stabbing.
On the island, you for dolo. Ain't no ratchets. You ain't selling no slugs long distance. All that, yo, I'm good with the razor, but not good with the hands. Family, if you can't box, you can't cut a nigga fighting.
Niggas was doing it.
That's it. But, I kind of agree when we disagree because there's a lot of dudes who couldn't fight and they cut a lot of motherfuckers. They got a lot of motherfuckers, but you still had to know how to fight. And that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? You have to know how to, you have to at least try to fight. You have to, you know what I mean? You got to put up a fight. That's it. Simple.
The 52 shit. Niggas had the shit all down to the knees.
When the first nigga tried me, I made not an example out of him, but instead of getting a Grammy, I got an Oscar.
Well, I seen niggas coming there with a 1 and 3 on the island.
I couldn't be humble there. I had to be an animal. I had to literally become a beast.
Slaves, look at this shit, man. Slaves, B. Come up in here, we gonna rip your fucking head off.
Who was able to get somebody 25 years for pulling a raise out on someone and extorting them and stealing from them?
He was commanding officer back then, right? But I remember him back in the days. I think he was like sergeant in the C-74, something like that. And then like he progressed. He ended up being like the dep, I think, of the jail.
Yeah, now you're doing 25 years.
Way before that.
and wind up with 30 years, 25. All jail cases.
First thing I had was a pen in my motherfucking hand. And that little big pen I took, that shit went through his eye, went through his jaw. I motherfucking severed the nigga shit. Then after I finished stabbing the nigga, that wasn't enough. I had to stomp the nigga out, drag him, then rob him.
As soon as you come through, no matter if you gangster or not, niggas gonna test you.
Money got it and I need it, I'm coming for it.
Society is two type of men. Those who carry the whip and those who carry the bag. One is a strong, one is weak. The strong man gonna survive. The weak man gonna have to pay the price. Bottom line.
I was on my way. I'm going to C-74. I'm 16, so I gotta go to C-74. That's where they house the adolescents at and shit. And you know, adolescents is the niggas that wig out the most. Razors, bangers, and all this crazy shit. You know, it's a different field. You know, I grew up in Scarface. I mean, ain't nothing for a little fight or nothing. But now you step into a whole new league where it's razors and bangers now. I mean, and there's niggas that's out there, they just looking for a rep.
You good with your hands, that's nice, but when a nigga back that matawak out on you, that's gonna stop everything real fast. Wait a minute, homie, pass that off. You got some.
He was saying about when you could be good with your hands, but somebody puts that big bone crusher out, you know what I mean? You still think, because, you know, even just one hit, you finish. Think about it.
Somebody sleeping in their bunk. You want to get at him? He right there. He sleep. You wrap some tissue around his feet, clown the nigga, whatever you want to do to the nigga. Clown him, burn his feet, make him wash his clothes.
You can see.
You see that? They're picking. That's picking herbs right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, dudes used to wrap dudes up when they sleep and wrap them up like mummies, or wrap their feet up and then light them up. You heard it him. You heard what he said himself. You know, or you be in a dorm, like they did that to my boy. Shout out to do. You know, where he was sleeping. You know what I'm saying? And some dudes robbed this a kid and then told the kid that my boy did it, and he didn't do it. But, you know, just to get the scent off them, it was like, yeah, he did it. So when he was sleeping, son cut him. He barely even got him. My son dude got up and beat the hell out of him. But I'm just saying, that's what he's talking about. You know, you don't know what's going on around you. You could have no beef, and all of a sudden somebody busts you in your head because somebody done told them something different. You always got to be on. You always got to keep your head on the swivel, because even though you may be calm and comfortable, right? You may be all of that, but you don't know what's going on around you. You fucked up.
Which one is the weak one? Sometimes if they're so weak, you gotta get them out of it, because something is going to happen to them.
Because one nigga, we birthday cake the nigga toes and shit. Like, his toes is sticking from under the blanket and shit. So we birthday cake this shit. Boom, boom, put mad tissue on this shit. Boom, lit the shit on fire. This nigga, you know, and he ain't get all wild and jump up like everybody else. He just pulled his feet under the covers. So we like, oh, we had to run and dive in our bed like, oh shit, cause this is dawn. This is like Mar 4. So you know it's dawns and shit. So we just run and jump in our bed like, oh, this nigga about to burn the fuck up, B. This nigga's like, nah, fuck that. Run over there and stomp the nigga out. You know, you gotta stomp a fire out. Niggas just started stomping him out.
Other niggas that don't get their props, they not touching that jack. That's crazy. They not, don't even think about it. Don't even wish about it.
When he said new people can never touch that jack, this is for the people everywhere, that's the phone. He's saying if you ain't nobody, you know, you're not willing to fight, you're not willing to cut, you're not willing to stab, you can't touch that jack, the phone. Don't touch it.
And I say, nigga, who running the phone? Yeah. That's my first question. Who the fuck runs the phone? Wherever I went, I had that mic. And that's gangster. Wherever I went, let me reiterate that again. Wherever I went, I controlled that mic.
When he's saying I control that mic, again, I just want to break stuff down because there's people who watch from all over the world, right? When he say I control that mic, that means he ran the phone. A mic is also the phone. Jack is the phone. Mike is the phone. You understand? So Mike Jack. So he's just saying that wherever he went, he took the phone and he ran it and he demanded it. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, believe that. Man, I seen niggas getting killed on that jack, man. I seen one time a nigga, when COs went to do the count.
I always kicked the bed, and the guy didn't move, so we kept kicking the bed. The guy was laying up there, dead.
There was a nigga missing underneath the bed. He was leaking. They had stuffed him underneath the bed with blankets over him, and he was leaking. And I'm like, you know, and I know a nigga dead, but the nigga underneath the bunk. So that's when the
squad came up, they killed the nigga over the jack. But the first thing I do when I walk up,
killed him over the phone. I say he killed him over the phone. Now he's saying the first thing I do when I go in the house is,
you know what I mean? I'm the master of deception. I go up in that motherfucker, and the first thing I'ma do is see who rocking that shit. I'ma tell a nigga, yo, give me 5 minutes on the phone just to let my people know where I'm at. And once I do that, that's it. I'm not even unpacking my bag. That phone goes with me in my back pocket. Then whoever's gangster, whoever got time on that phone and who got prime time, I'm controlling it. Even if I ain't got nobody to call, I want that money. Why? Because that's a sense of control, and I'm a control freak.
now he's saying he's going in, he's taking the phone. He's going to say, hey, can I get on for a minute? Okay, yeah. And then he's taking the phone off, putting it in his pocket and saying, who wants it? Now, the people who've been in the house, when he was saying, I want that prime time, usually like from 8 o'clock to 11 is prime time. You know what I'm saying? Don't touch that phone. You know what I mean? Phone time usually starts about 4 or 5 o'clock for certain people. You know what I'm saying? But 9, 10, really like 9 to 8, 9, 10, 11, prime time. That's what he's saying. He's saying he's going in. He's going to say, let me use it, take it off, and I'm taking it. That's what he said. You understand? Are you watching, kids?
It is prohibited for you to get on that fucking phone and touch that jacket. Niggas get banged out in the shower. Niggas get banged out talking on the telephone. Niggas get banged out coming from the visit.
See, when he's saying guys are getting banged out on the visit and banged out by the telephone, it's not what he's saying, banged out. Again, I got to clarify this for the people who don't know. Banged out, stabbed.
Going to the visit, coming from commissary, coming from the mess hall, walking down the hall. I used to blow niggas in front of police to motherfuckers.
Now, when he say I used to blow in front of police, it's not. When he's saying he used to blow, again, these is New York terms I'm breaking down for you know what I'm saying? For the people who don't know. We got people from Australia to watch. We got people UK. There's people all over the world who watch Fred White. Blow, cut. You know what I'm saying? Like usually when you say, yo, I blew his head off, it's not a knife. It's usually a razor. So when the dude say, yo, I blew his ass up, that's what that means.
Fuckers will turn their face like they never seen anything a day in their life.
I banged that man up to the point where police had him like this, son. Shackled the fuck up, and he thought he just got over and just damned my man up, and I ran up on him in front of the police. I backed the police up, but bitch, and caught him. Bang, bang, and banged the nigga out in front of the police, son.
Brother threw a hot baby oil in the hot water, threw it on him, and when he grabbed his face, his skin started peeling, and he stabbed them all up.
You see that? He say somebody, because in certain spots you get what's called 190. It's 190 degrees of water. 190. So dudes will put all types of stuff, baby oil, stuff like that in there. Some dudes, I seen dudes put 190 and put hot sauce, throw it in somebody's face, man. You ever see somebody's face melt? Oh, I have.
The worst cuts I've seen was I was looking out the window and I saw the inmates in the big yard when they was playing, doing push-ups and stuff like that. So then I seen one inmate was doing push-ups on the ground. And somebody straddled him over his back and grabbed him, put their hand under his neck, and just started raking his face back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I was like, damn.
When I seen that happen, that shit there had me on top of my skin.
Then the inmate took off his white shirt and put it on his face, and the white shirt just turned instant red. He had just ripped him wide open.
I see the little wagon coming down. This nigga got like three white t-shirts on his fucking face, B, and them shits is rapidly turning red. They leaked the shit out this dude. He's on the back of this little buggy they drive through the corridor. And he's just leaking. I'm looking like, damn.
I see niggas call niggas to the gate. Hey, yo, fam, come here. I gotta tell you something. As soon as that nigga put his face on that gate, he eat him. He straight eat him. Blah! And you like, oh, shit. Like, what the fuck happened?
When a nigga first get cut, the first thing a nigga do was grab his face. He don't know what happened. He looking around. Nigga don't know why he get cut.
You don't even feel it. It happens so fast. It feels like a person just smacked you or something.
It was always like a rush. Once you get involved, once you do something one time, it's like you become addicted to it. It's like you want to stay in beef.
Every opportunity I got, I was busting somebody over.
Predatory cutter is...
Now, you see this right here? These are flaps. This is where the meal goes in. This is where your letters go in. And then this flap comes up. Ba-bang!
Inmate that
they cuff you out of that too. You got to put your hands out if you get cuffed. Let me get some water. So people
care about anybody. He'll slice his own mother. He'll cut up an officer. He'll cut up another inmate. He'll go in the clinic and cut the nurses or cut the doctors. He just don't care.
You want to stab, you want to cut because it felt good. It was like that adrenaline rush.
It got to the point where they wasn't able to control me.
I walked down the hallway. It seemed like 5, 6 young brothers with long, crazy gashes.
Look at that cut, guys. Guys, look at that. That's when they say down to the white meat. See it? They open the dude up, man. And that's what happens, man. You know, is this what you want to subject yourself to? Look at his face. He's got to look at that for the rest of his life.
Slashes from the eye over here. I couldn't believe it. I said, what the fuck is this?
Those are the ones you got the handcuffs with their hands in front
See
of
the
you.
mittens?
With mittens on their hands.
See, the ones who cut a lot of people, they put them in mittens so that they can't cut anybody, even when they're handcuffed and shackled and walking through hallways. They have these motherfuckers like Hannibal Lecter. Hello.
Them niggas built the cage on the 4th building. They built the cage for predators. I became a predator. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the third predators on Rikers Island on that year. They built the cage I believe to this day the cage is still there. You know what I'm saying?
Prisoners who are in this particular part, the Central Punitive Segregation Unit, the Bing, are the most dangerous prisoners in the prison system.
The Bing. You heard him say the Bing, guys? For those who don't know what the Bing is solitary confinement on Rikers Island. Where you're there 23 hours a day. You only get, back then you used to be able to go out to like a little yard and then they started building rec pens, but you're in there 23 hours a day. Instead of solitary confinement on Rikers Island, it's called the Bing.
And I used to get my visits in there. I didn't get regular visits like everybody else get visits and they go up there and sit at a little table with their family and all that. Nah, I used to come straight from the bed. You know what I'm saying? Go straight to shackle the fuck up. My handcuffs and all that, straight to the little cage.
These niggas trying to be gangsters.
Yeah. They used to have little cages in the back type thing for high security and things like that. So he's saying he used to come through with the handcuffs, not with the regular prisoners. They used to put him in his own cage.
And when they get cut and see a little blood, they run it. A cut on the face ain't gonna kill you. I told a young nigga, I said, yo, if one of y'all niggas cut me in my face, my man, I'm gonna get the motherfucking shit from you and I'm gonna cut your jugular, nigga. I'm gonna kill you in there.
I see niggas go to court to the pens. Niggas used to be on the pens like this. Playing the gate close. CO? Nah, ain't no motherfucking CO, nigga.
Nigga get cut on the face. Oh, CO! Yeah, CO!
In prison, there was a term used by the officers called slash for cash, meaning every time an inmate got cut, you needed an officer to write the report, meaning overtime. You needed a captain to investigate why he got cut, and you needed a doctor to actually stitch this guy open. So actually, people had got paid on just this inmate just getting his face ripped wide open.
That's deep. That's the correct ex-corrections right there, talking right there. So many people get paid when you get cut. I wonder why so many people get cut.
Nigga just got his face smashed in by the CO, and this nigga probably got his face ripped by another inmate, and I'm just getting here.
Adolescent, that's the first time I ever see somebody get ripped. That's the first time I ever been in a situation like that.
The very first day, I never been on the island a day in my life. Brand new, like, I never been to the island before. It's my first fucking day. I ain't even touched a bunk yet. And it's serious already.
The man had actually got stabbed in his jugular vein. And, the pressure, losing the pressure actually hit the ceiling. So they was actually mopping blood off the ceiling because the guy had got stabbed in his neck.
But a nigga blast you.
It was like
that. When you open the zipper, how it opens,
Rest in peace, Boogler.
and then you see whatever's inside. Well, I seen the white meat, and then I seen black
White meat.
It looks like one of them horror movies. Not when you see Jason splashing someone across the chest or someone with that big ass machete. When a motherfucker hit you across your face with a razor, it's just like that.
That shit is a perfect line. It's a perfect scar. And then if they make one slight movement, that shit just disperses and opens up.
Sometimes you see the bone. You cut them straight all the way to the bone.
And then you see the white meat. And then the shit just pss, 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 pss. And then it's a wrap. That nigga got that scar for the rest of his fucking life.
I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do. But what I hate, I keep on doing. Wow, that's pretty deep right there. You know, some people are just caught up in a cycle. You know what I mean? Some people don't want to have to do the things that they do, but they do. And some people fight demons. They can't understand, why can't I change?
When I first went up with an individual that had 25 years. He was 18 years old. Dude was buck wild, known on the island for busting his gun, doing whatever he felt. I thought that he was a strong individual, but once he went upstate and he started really, doing his thing, actually, them correctional officers said, listen, man, we got to calm that young buck down.
You know, me being what I am, I'm Crip in the motherfucker. I go through jail. I let the whole jail know, nigga, this is Crip, nigga.
As soon as I walk up in the house, I let niggas know. Yo, I'm blood. Who blood in this house? Who's what in this house? Whatever.
Hey, 25 cell. 25 cell. Put that mattress back up. Lock your arms underneath it. Don't look at me. Just listen to my voice. That's all you got to do.
6 months down the line, I seen him. He was in a cell with a pamper. It wasn't a pamper, but he had sheets wrapped around his genital areas and his butt. And he was shaking the gate. And he was shaking the gate so bad, I was trying to say, yo, what's up, man? People were saying, yo, WAP, there's no need to even say nothing to him. They shot him up with Thurazine. They shot him up with Thurazine so bad, come to find out that he went crazy.
Now, Thorazine was a medication that they used to give to people to calm them. And, some people wanted it, liked it, it gave them that feeling and calm down. I know there's one guy who used to do it and he used to just walk around like that. You know what I mean? Like, it does different things to different people. So apparently what he's saying is they gave this guy a lot of Thorazine somehow and he lost his mind.
Motherfucking faggot ass police up in there gonna tell me I can't motherfucking go out the jail. Now, I don't want to eat nothing to mess up, but when you hit the hallway, this is where you make your moves at, make your contacts at. So the nigga gonna tell me that I ain't going to, but you letting everybody else out.
Hey, officer, don't look at me. Put him back in the cell, take off those pajamas, and put some pants on.
I told the nigga straight down. I said, yo, if you don't let me out, I said, I guarantee you, when you open up this motherfucking gate, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. And I said, everything you heard about me, you about to experience and witness and be a victim of the motherfucking shit and think I'm playing.
We have a group of inmates who have a propensity for violence, and they don't care about their fellow inmates. They don't care about a correctional officer.
When correctional officers feel that you are getting out of hand, they will shoot you up with them drugs.
And we must do everything in our system that we can to protect our people.
It used to be said that, especially in Caxsaki back in the days, that they used to put stuff inside the Kool-Aid, inside the juice. That's why I was like, don't drink the juice. It was like some, don't drink the juice. That was like a known thing. Because, allegedly they used to put stuff inside the juice to calm the inmate population.
Protect other inmates, which is what we're doing.
So what I did, I said, yo, this nigga think I'm playing. I put my belt on, took my shirt off. When that nigga opened that gate, I stepped straight out and knocked him straight the fuck out. Then I went at his partner, bust him upside the head with a fire extinguisher. And then I finished ragging them niggas. When the motherfucking squad came, they couldn't believe it.
If you touch one of my officers, if you assault one of my officers, you're going to get 2 sets of handcuffs. One to your waist and then one on your leg.
The very first day I got there, police beat my ass. I'm talking about literally beat me to where a nigga was looking like the Elephant Man.
First and the only time I knocked out a CO. Nigga came and tried to head me up, whatever that, turn around and just drop. Niggas beat me up for a week, dog.
I've seen an incident where a captain
They'll fuck you up.
and two
Tell
male
me.
officers was
They'll
beating
kill
the
you.
hell out this one guy.
Jerome Shipman is the captain in the corrections department, one of the 11 current and former officers charged in 4 separate indictments in the Bronx. The allegations are that they assaulted inmates
Always,
at Rikers
boy.
Island and then faked documents to cover up the beatings.
Every time a new shift came in, I'm in the box. They coming in, I'm butt ass naked, just beating a nigga down. Next shift come in, just catch a nigga.
I tried to break it up because the guy was handcuffed. I tried to break it up, and they told me to get the hell back in the door.
These 4 incidents include 2 in which the beating was planned ahead of time, and then correction officers assigned to the New York City Department of Corrections meted out a beating that was planned.
Inmate was saying,
I can't believe that. You know, whoever they beat up must have been somebody, or they, you know, they almost killed him or something. Like somebody had to report, because usually nobody cares. I've seen thousands and thousands of those type of assaults that never got reported.
see him though, you see him, right? And when they turn around and see me still standing there, that's when they took him away. And whatever happened after that, I don't know.
Police would be so foul, knowing you a Puerto Rican, and throw you in a house with a bunch of black motherfuckers, knowing that the jail was on some racial shit.
Say I came down in 1996 on a conspiracy charge. I landed in C-95. All right, 10 low. The Bloods and the Latin Kings was at war.
I done seen this dorm, in one particular dorm, which is 4 men. About 15 inmates fighting each other.
Wow,
and all of a sudden the whole dorm gets into it, because it's the Latin Kings, and it's the Bloods, and then you got the Rikers, and then you got the Crips.
Riots sometimes start because of the minor shit. Like, me and you could have had some beef for the street. You know what I'm saying? And we got it on the street. Now, we in jail, so we still popping. It just happened to be that you black and I'm Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Now you go to jail, you know what I'm saying, that you got your little dudes around you. See, in jail, a lot of racist niggas is racist, man. Niggas be on some racial shit. You know what I'm saying, with each other. You know what I'm saying? Dudes be like, oh, he a Moreno, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we gonna stay with the Puerto Ricans. You know what I'm saying? Puerto Ricans stay with Puerto Ricans, Moreno stay with Moreno, whites will stay with whites, Muslim with Muslim, God bodies with God bodies, Bloods with Bloods, Land Kings with Land Kings.
You choose sides from the minute you walk through that door. You know what I mean? If you're a black man and you got love for an Hispanic man, and you come across a Hispanic man that's your man, and you got love for his family and his people, and then you sit back and you choose sides right then and there.
So in other words, it was the Spanish against the blacks.
Where I was at, Latin Kings dominated specific domes.
75 to 80 inmates were in their normal recreation period, and 2 or 3 of them began a fight.
I had seen one inmate get sliced from his top of his forehead all the way around to his next ear almost.
Dudes was literally dying, and I'm not talking about one body, 2 bodies. I'm talking about damn near half a tears getting found stretched after the war was over.
A couple officers intervened, and both of those officers were hit overhead with a 50-pound weight.
We had a police chick. I'm gonna only use it first. The initial Miss G was holding shanks for the Latin Kings, okay? Holding them shits in the drawer. In the drawer, the search team never come in and search the motherfucking drawer.
Officials say Officer Raymond Cotton allegedly warned inmates about prison searches and hid contraband in his office until the searches were finished.
I know 3 officers that actually called a bunch of inmates to the gates and told them line up and started giving out gem stars like nothing. Here. Like
gem stars are razors. So he's saying he's seen police just come in and give people, arm people, which was happening. You know, and the other one with the police who had all the knives in her desk. I mean, these things happen. Like I say, you got to realize that 95, 98% of the corrections on Rikers Island, they're from the hood. They're from the areas that these people who are behind bars are from. They may have grown up together. They may not say nothing. They may, you know what I mean? It may be your boy's sister, your boy's girlfriend's cousin. Like, y'all know each other, and that's just the way it is. Because, like I said, most of the corrections is from the 5 boroughs.
He's giving out candy.
The motherfucking blood's rolling or some niggas rolling and start some beef with them niggas, that bitch hand them shits out like they pancakes.
A protein came in to end the melee, and then more inmates got involved. And it took a total of 35 officers to quell the melee.
It's been time, it's been real crazy. I was raised with black people, man. Like, I was raised in the building. This is my homie right here. He's black. I was raised with him. You know what I'm saying? You know, we was raised little kids in the building. You know what I'm saying? Selling drugs in the building, doing everything in the building. But it's been time in jail where I had to bring the Puerto Rican flag. I had dudes, my dudes, get the crazy markers and all that, and take the sheet and make a Puerto Rican flag out of it. And put the Puerto Rican flag in the middle of the yard, boom, stab everything that's black. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't had no other choice.
And that's what it is. And that's what it is. That's the way it was. You know what I mean? If you grew up, that's the alliances that you have to take. You could grow up with somebody, but he's of a different race. And in jail, a lot of things are segregated. I told you, you could see a lot of, like, especially like you're like in medium securities, when a Latino is fighting a black guy, you see it like, you know what I mean? It could be, the Latino dude could be 2 and 31. Like, it don't matter. You know what I mean? I used to see that all the time. When there was big fights, I used to sit back and watch. It was crazy sometimes, but it went both ways. Hello.
It's not over. This is just the beginning. Rikers Island right now is quiet, but there will be revenge.
Quiet. Rikers Island's never been quiet. Who is this proposal?
They're going to try and kill him.
I went to the hole, and in the hole,
it's never been quiet.
It's called SHU, Special Housing Unit. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like this. You see these apartments right here? It's just like this. These are all apartments, so it's a whole bunch of them like this. You know what I'm saying? And I was right here, and around me, you know what the police did with the practice days? They put, everybody was around me was black. Everybody around me was, the nigga next door was the one I stabbed up 2 days ago. And the one next door over here was the one I banged this man up. The other man over there was the one I banged up the week before. You know, it's all same drama. I'm the only Spanish nigga. There's only one Spanish nigga that's on that wing.
I get up north, and now I got man.
To set you up, they don't like you.
I'm sitting down, it's police everywhere. This is where the motherfucking depth of security, I mean, all the high-powered police be at, the superintendent and all that. So it's mad COs. Now, this is in Elmira. Our people across the joint, at this time in Elmira, all the blood niggas wearing they look red belts, red boots, red shirts, red hats, or whatever. So I'm looking at all the niggas. They in one corner with all this red shit on. So I'm like, all right, that's who I got to focus my attention on. But little did I know, I'm slipping so much. I slipped for sitting down in the first place, but I'm sitting down, and behind me, there's a blood nigga, but he wearing all the state shit, all the green shit, no red, just green, nigga.
95% of the beef on the island was over the jack, because the jack was free. You know what I mean? Money had came to the dorm talking about what's up with slot time, paying that hardcore gangster shit, your dog, what's up with the phone, you know what I mean? Long story short, I ate his food right quick. Whoop! Sent him about the house.
He said he cut him, ate his food, bomb, put him on the plate, ate his food, cut him. That's what he was saying. He's saying that, remember how the earlier dude said that when he goes in the house, he says 5 minutes and then he takes the phone? He's saying that somebody came in and tried to do that and he cut him. You see, there's always a flip side. I'm not saying people ain't gangster. I'm just saying is when you go into a house and you're taking the phone, understand that probably whoever had that phone may be as gangster as you. And this is the lions going at it. And this is what I'm trying to portray and put out. So these kids understand that this is not a fucking game. Prison is not a game. Rikers Island is not a game. It's not a joke. Keep talking, bro.
And this nigga come from behind me and splash the shit out of me. This shit right here. This nigga catch me slipping whenever we starts to get it on, but the police is right there. Before the police really get to us, I try to dip off and hide my shit, but the nigga caught me a little too nice. I got hit 4 different times.
He got cut, he's saying.
I got hit once, and I got hit again, and I got hit repeatedly 4 different cases.
Real niggas don't even get caught up. I slept my own.
He said he got stabbed 4 different times. I think he's saying he got caught too. Let's see.
Man, poke me. And
understand? I got hit up 7 times and I held my wounds in. I made it to my cell, collapsed in my cell on my bed though. COs did they count? Nobody even knew nothing happened to me. The first time.
He's saying that he got stabbed up and somebody stabbed him 7 times and it was his boy. It was his man. I don't know the story. I'm just saying, but these are the type of things. Maybe his man was involved in something. You know what I mean? And they told me, "Oh, we're going to get you unless you get him," or something like that. You know what I mean? I can't tell you what the scenario was, but he said his man hit him up 7 times.
Time I got hit, I was so angry that I didn't even pay it no mind. I just put a piece of tissue on it and stopped the bleeding and commenced the fight. It wasn't all that bad. When I got my lungs punctured, I still fought, but I literally shoved my left hand into my stomach thinking it would alleviate the pain.
About 3 days later, his cousin come into the room. I ain't know it's the nigga's cousin. Nigga called me, I slept on him. You know what I mean? I know it's the nigga's cousin. I'm over here reaching for some motherfucking cookies and milk. The coward nigga got me from the back. You know what I mean? The nigga ripped the shit out of me. Bottom of my chin, boom. All the way to the back of the neck.
Okay, so he's saying, he's continuing on his story. Remember, he said somebody came in the house and was acting gangster. So he said, I ate his food, right? That's what he said. Then a few days later, the kid that he cut, cousin came in the house. You understand? He didn't know that. And now the kid's cousin caught him as payback for the family.
You know what I mean? Pull out the ice pick, grab the nigga by the jeans, start blazing. Boom, boom, start blazing the nigga like, you know what I mean? Like he old.
Not only was I hurt, but I was hurt emotionally and mentally because I was under the impression that, yo, this could never be done to me. I'm big, speedy. What the fuck? I don't get hit. I hit niggas.
I got stabbed up and all that island. You know what I'm saying? I got bad. Everybody gets it. You know what I'm saying? If you put some work in, you get it too.
I mean, my mans had to come and scoop me out of the cell and report my injuries.
My man got stabbed up too. My dude, they ran up on him and stabbed him up crazy. Like this, he almost died. It was like an inch away from his heart.
The survival instinct kicks in. I want to rip your head off. I want to kill you. That's just what I want to do because I'm angry. Now I'm looking at you saying, I gotta live because you're trying to kill me. You're literally trying to kill me, so I have to kill you. You know what I mean? And you gotta go all out. You know, for me, I went from 0 to 120 less than 2.3 seconds. I went all out.
You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, man. Like, he was like fucked up. He couldn't even walk. He was like holding it. He was like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, it's like, man, just be easy, man. Just, you know what I mean? When you get hit, you can't just be moving or nothing.
And even the nurses told me, yo, if you would have came, you would have died. You would have bled to death. I had a soaked mattress, a sure death.
I seen a person get stabbed up and go from being flush and looking energetic to pale and in the fetal position on the floor, gasping for air. It's just like, you know, it's like the guy went from being a living person to a corpse. Like that.
That's a fact. I seen it happen in Roe. This kid Roe, he was Crip. He was from Queens to Richmond Hill. Good kid. We came out the box together. We ended up neighbors in Clinton. He was a good kid, man. You can just tell he was just in it. You know what I'm saying? Good, polite kid too, man. You know, it is what it is. We were in the yard. We were lining up in Clinton. Everybody know when you get Clinton, there's like certain where your house is. You line up where they at type thing. And he was walking, and the dude just, a little dude too, just came up from behind, a little blood kid, I guess, and just hit him, boom, 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 and literally just kept walking. Where he came walking over, he was like, yo. He was like, damn, they got me. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. You know what I mean? It was some gang shit, you know, but he lined up. He was my neighbor, you know, and hit him, boom, boom, boom. You know, over there somewhere, he came back, he started walking, boom. Fell out. They had to airlift his ass out of there. Man, he lived though. Shout out to Ro. If you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. The turtles. Here they come. Here they come. They coming in. You see the squad? That's the squad. They're being nice on these searches because they just toss everything.
You can get anything on Rikers Island. You can get coke, dope, guns.
One way or another, an inmate got a gun back in the building. He paid another inmate to shoot him in the leg.
I believe that, but I know 3 people who got shot. on Rikers Island. Four. 2, but they were both like 2 at one time and 2 at another time. I know 4 people who were shot on Rikers Island. 1,000%.
Inmates' belongings. Basically
Shout out
looking
to
for any
GC
type of contraband.
Just 24 hours after a massive weapons search by correction officers, 4 inmates were shot by a lone gunman as they slept. 2 are in critical condition with chest wounds. Another was shot in the abdomen, and the 4th man a shot in the shoulder. They are in stable condition.
We recovered the gun at the crime scene. It's a small caliber weapon, about 3 to 3.5 inches long. It's about this long. It's 4, possibly 6 shots.
Inmates were taken to Elmhurst Hospital. Officials have not ruled out the possibility the shooter may be among them, having wounded himself to deflect attention. It happened here around 4 o'clock Thursday morning. 49 inmates were inside the dorm, which houses low-risk inmates with medical problems.
I don't know who
Officials
these are.
believe the inmate may have smuggled the gun inside in a body cavity. There, it was able to elude metal detectors.
The whole building was shut down for that.
I keep my shit with me. I make a bang out of anything. Pencil.
Bang, a knife, guys. A knife.
Blue, I mean, I'm a Crip. This is a Crip weapon. Of course, the Latin Kings, yellow on black.
Like I say, they'll burn it, scrape it on some cement when they go out in the yard.
A fucking mirror, a plastic mirror, break that off. You know what I'm saying? Sharpen that up. Sharpen on the cell, on the concrete joint. Sharpen that up in the corner.
They scrape it, burn it, scrape it until it comes to a point, or either like an ice pick.
I mean, a hard piece of plastic as a toothbrush. You sharpen one end, that's a weapon. It's a good weapon because it can beat the micrometer. It's not metal.
You see all those little things they made little razors out of? Like that's a little razor right there they made out of. You see that right there? Boom. The gem. That's an old rusty one. That shit hits you. You got to try to see this one right here. See how rusty that shit is? You don't want that shit hitting you. These right here are like from the big razors. You see the big razors right here? All the rest of these is knives, is, regular shit, small shit. Wait, hold on. Time out. Hold on. What the These are toothbrushes. But what the? This motherfucker made a ninja star. We got fucking ninjas in? Oh my. It's like too much Bruce Lee.
If it ain't in my mouth, I'm keeping that shit in my motherfucking throat.
Look.
Like right now, I'm talking to you and I got my shit. You can't even tell. You know what I'm saying? So the inmate actually did that.
He's in the streets. Well, I don't know where he is now, that guy. I'm just saying. This is many years ago. He was in the streets with a razor. Because in case he gets locked up, he can keep it with him. The mindset. Wow. But that's what happens, man, when you're scarred at a young age, man, and you're institutionalized, man, and you can't really, get with today's society. Believe me, I understand. I'm not putting anybody down. I clearly understand, but wow.
And was talking to me at the same time. And I didn't even know he had a razor in his mouth. That's how concealed it was in between his cheek and gum.
But I put my shit on my dick. You know what I'm saying? I put my shit on my dick. But to this day, my wife be bugging. My girl, I tell the story, she be like, you was really crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not circumcised, so you can peel your dick, the skin of your dick back, and I put the razor over the skin of my dick. You know what I'm saying? When the crackers came searching me, all that bullshit, spread your fucking wings and your hands and all this bullshit and all that, the razor was on my dick.
Just a daily routine. Once you fuck with this shit, this is your life.
You can't make this up.
But the officers got hit to putting the razor blade in their mouth. So what they would do was take Vaseline, stick their hand in the Vaseline, and stick the Vaseline in their asshole. Take the razor blade, find a piece of plastic, wrap the razor blade with the plastic, and force the razor blade in their ass.
Listen what he just said, guys. Kids, are you listening? Boofing. It's called boofing. You know what I'm saying? I used to cheek. I never boofed. I used to put them between my ass cheeks, wrap it up. And what I used to wrap it up in was rubber bands. Why? So that it would get caught there. You know what I'm saying? You got little hands in your ass. It would get caught there with the rubber bands. You understand? So I used to put it between my cheeks. I never put it up my ass. I did the cheeking. He's saying boofing, put it up your ass. That ain't never been something that I've been accustomed to.
You go inside the facility, you don't clear the bag. What happens is they put you under observation for 72 hours.
It was one day, inmate walked through the manometer and it activated. So they take his belt off, cigarettes out, put it on the garbage can so we could search him. Inmate walked through again. It kept raining.
And when you under that observation inside that room, they got cameras on you, got a pig on you, watching your shit. You know what I'm saying? Putting his hands through your shit like he's some type of freak.
Yeah.
Now, what he's saying is the observation is if they think that you have something on you, whether you may have just come off the visit and they saw you swallowing balloons, or they saw you put something up your ass after somebody was cut, something like that, they could take you and they put you in the observation room. And it is basically exactly what it says. It's an observation room. They sit there and they watch you. They strip you of all your clothes. They give you like a hospital gown. That happened to me once. They put you in a hospital gown. And when you shit, there's nothing in there. There's no toilet. None. When you shit, they give you a bucket. You know what I'm saying? And they give you a bucket and they shit because then you got to put it back out and they got to feel in the shit for whatever you swallowed. Yeah, observation. They can keep you in there for 3 days. I know people who've shit out and, you know what I mean, waited till the police looked away, shit out and re-ate it. What? Rather than get caught with it and get a new charge, whether it be drugs or whatever they were swallowing. They literally shit and just re-ate it. Right, exactly. Is this the shit that you want to deal with? Come on, guys.
I didn't order them to pull his pants down and bend down, squat, and spread your ass cheeks.
You get stripped, you know what I'm saying, in your birthday suit. You strip down to your birthday suit. And the first thing they tell you is to pass your fingers through your hair.
Okay, wait, bring your fingers through your hair.
Make sure there ain't nothing in your head if you have hair. Don't cock your ears. You know what I'm saying? Lift up your nut. You know what I'm saying? Separate your nuts from your dick. Make sure there ain't nothing taped through there. And then turn around and actually crack your ass.
Turn around and spread cheeks with both hands at the same time. Show the bottom of your feet.
You know what I'm
You see that, you know, guys, you guys know that's a big thing for me. I talk about that all the time and talk about how demoralizing that was. So if we're going to talk disrespect and going to jail for disrespect, I want people to think about that scene right there. That guy spreading his fucking ass cheeks right there and understand you will go through the same fucking thing.
saying? To let this individual look at your ass. You actually turning around and cracking your ass for this another man to look at your ass.
It may bend down and spread his ass cheeks and, just lower a hole. They seen something stuck in his ass. So it was like, well, what you got in your ass? So then the inmate put his hands in his ass and pulled down. Shit was covered in plastic and just threw it on the floor and boom. Damn razor blade came right out of there.
The clearest way I can explain it, man, it's for animals in there, man.
Animals, guys. You see, I talk cages, I talk chains.
When a brother go to jail, man,
animals.
Don't mean he's imprisonment, man. Imprisonment is your mind. It's a frame of mind, man.
I always say slavery ended a long time.
Nah, big bro. Imprisonment ain't in just your mind. Nah. Them walls closing around me, that was real, right? And as much as I can say they can't take my mind, man, they did for a long time, and some of their tactics still affect me to today. So,
But when I stepped inside Rikers out, and it's probably going on in other prisons too, I think that is the highest slavery rank of inmates.
I went to Africa, and I went to the Elmina slave dungeons. That's where they used to keep the slaves in actual pens until the ships came to take them to other plantations to wherever they needed them.
Human beings who can think and feel were reduced to the status of domestic animals and packed in these dungeons like books stacked on shelves. There's so much crammed over here that some of them suffocated to death, some starved to death.
As I walked through the corridors, the same corridors that the slaves broke down. You know, I had visions of when I used to work at Rikers Island, like the same corridors that the inmates used to walk down.
Those hallways, I'm telling you, if those hallways could talk, guys, if those hallways, those guys were just walking down could talk.
Over here, there
If
was
these
a guy
walls,
here
if
to
these
watch
walls
the
could
movement
talk
of
as
the
well.
captives.
Excuse me, gentlemen, keep it down.
And actually went inside one of the slave pens, and I looked around and I circled around, and it just took me right back to Rikers Island, to where they used to house the inmates, put them together the same way inside these pens. But the buses used to come and take them up north to other penitentiaries, to wherever they needed these inmates.
Same thing.
They didn't know what was happening. They didn't know that they were being sold into slavery. Just imagine being captured in a war, being dragged down the coast here, and then put into chains and shackles to be taken to the new world.
Jail is modern slavery. It's all racist and it's all politics. And like I said before, it's all about paper. You know what I mean? The more I lock you up, the more money you make.
Facts. Facts. There was, people. There was. The first installment of the toughest prisons around the world. We're going to name it something. I don't know what, but that's what we're going to do. And I found it only fitting. Now we got to start on Rikers Island. But you guys saw so much violence and so much destruction on Rikers Island. All that stuff is still happening today, even worse. Especially now, you know, it went from segregation to racial things where you know it was from. Now it's just gangs and inter-gangs, and Rikers Island is crazy. The moral of the story is stay your ass out of prison. The moral of the story is stay your ass out of trouble. Plain and simple. You guys know the motto. Before I tell the motto, if you liked what I did, make sure you hit the like button and let me get some comments on what you want me to react to, what video, what prisons, things like that. Put it in the comments and I got you guys. You guys know the motto, experience is the greatest teacher. But somebody else's experience could be just as valuable if you pay attention and listen. Fred White, signing off.